And we're back here at Boom and Bust. My guest is Tracey Bodnarchuk, CEO of Canada Powered by Women. Um, Tracey, kind of embedded in what you're talking about is perhaps that women have a unique perspective on these issues of energy and economy. Is that correct? And if so, what is that?
I think the unique perspective might be seems straightforward, but is a bit counterintuitive. And that's where the difference is because the expectation is that women will prioritize the environment over the economy. And what we find is that it's a counterintuitive message for women to be saying, actually, the economy really matters. And it really speaks to jobs and affordability, futures for their families. And it's not at the expense of the environment, but it's a counterintuitive message. And it's, again, I just was mentioning that women will take their time expressing their opinion or not express it at all. And so having a safe way to do that, and one of those is through us, so that we can bring that forward into the public domain, the media, and also with policymakers. It's not that it's like a shockingly different perspective, but it's one that you might not expect. Like,
Mm,
who would have thought that women think so much about energy and energy security?
hmm.
And like I mentioned, it's a conversation we've been having for a couple years, but when President Trump came into office and everything started with tariffs, the perspectives of women and the strength and purpose in our opinions has gotten stronger and has elevated, as has the sense of urgency. But we're quite calm and pragmatic in how we bring that forward. And that our research shows that. So when we go and ask for a meeting with a liberal MP or a conservative MP or someone from the NDP party, we often will get the meeting because it's not a topic that typically comes forward via women, but it's actually
Indeed.
fun.
Yeah, no, that's a great perspective. So I do want to dig a little bit deeper on the surveys that you conduct. Tell us a little bit more about what you're hearing from women as a result of these surveys.
Well, one thing I think is really important is that they really support liquid natural gas.
Hmm.
And they've said that for the last couple of years. So 3 years ago, when we asked women, do you support the development and the export of natural gas? The acceptance around that was about 77%. So can you imagine what it would be today, 3 years later? Another thing that we also hear is that women support an all of the above energy approach. So they see oil and gas as part of our future energy system. And in the last survey we did, which was in March, um, we saw a 20-point percentage increase in the acceptance of oil and gas in every single province,
Really?
including so the acceptance went from about 54% to in the 70s. Now, of course, Alberta didn't move that much because it's got high level of acceptance already, but we see common ground amongst women. So when we go out and we have conversations like the one you and I are having today, it's not an Alberta dialogue.
Mm,
It's a national one. So when I share that, women also support technology and innovation to reduce emissions so that we can continue to produce, and we talk about things like carbon capture storage, for example,
mhm.
they're looking for the government to work with the industry to facilitate that. And our research tells us that. And if that acceptance is maybe 80 something percent here in Alberta, it's the same in Ontario. So our research is very clear that women are aligned on these priorities. And this gives policymakers permission, at least from this audience, to do what they need to do it urgently, and to get things moving as far as our energy sovereignty.
And that you present those results to parliamentarians, for example?
Yes. So this fall, well, actually coming right up, we are going to Parliament in Victoria, also to the Hill. We'll be there meeting with government. And then we're also doing the same thing in Ontario and
Mm.
Edmonton. So we are very thoughtfully going to across the country and meeting with all parties so that we can share this perspective. Because for us, as a nonpartisan organization, it doesn't matter who's in power. We would like to be unignorable to anyone who's making those decisions.
Tracey, we're going to take another brief break. Certainly, it's a very interesting topic, and really appreciate you coming onto the program. We'll be back after these short messages.